Thank you so much. I believe in a world where we don't have to wait until we have no choice before we start making ourselves a priority. More love and support and energy should be put into preventative measures a lot earlier on so people can be the best versions of themselves and be able to give the best versions of themselves to themselves, to their family, their partners, the kids, and society. You don't have to choose. I think it's become this societal norm that we feel like we have to choose between health, life, career, and that balance, right? Like as if everything were this Jenga piece, right? Like you're playing a game of Jenga. Your family, your career, we try to balance all of these things. And we're taught that we can't have it all. But you can. You can nourish your family. You can nourish your career. You don't have to wait until there's an emergency in your life to force you to make those changes. You can be holistically aligned by choice and not necessity. You can choose yourself. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, is making ourselves a priority. As busy working humans, sometimes we put our own care on the back burner, right? Especially for parents, or we have other lives that we're responsible for. We focus solely on building our business, running it, fine-tuning our careers, meaning our health. And when I say health, this really is all encompassing of physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. All of those things tend to suffer. Raise your hand if you've ever put someone or something before your own well-being. I should see every hand up. If you've ever pushed yourself so hard that you've left no room for rest or error, running yourself quite literally into the ground. Right? We all have, because we've had to study for a test. We've had to get dishes done, because we've had to prepare for a presentation, because we had to fine tune our speeches. It's happened, right? We've all done it. There have been moments in our lives when we had to choose to clean our house or getting enough sleep, going to work or being home with our family. Life is full of choices. Sometimes we make the right ones. Sometimes we learn a lesson. After working some time in grief counseling, I was led to this beautiful world of positive psychology by way of health and mindset. What I have found, and what I'm continuing to find, which is really a scary place to be, is that so many humans are waiting until it's an emergency before they seek help for their health goals. And now remember, when I say health goals, this is mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health. I'm finding that there's so many people waiting until they have no choice but to make a change in their lives. It's mind-blowing. Why? Like you can't go any lower in your emotional health and your mental health and your physical health, but up. When humans come to me, I always have two first questions for them. What brings you here today? And why are you ready to make a change? That answer is shocking every time. Every time I hear the same thing. I have no other choice. My doctor says, if I don't make a change, this will happen. If I don't change today, I will have a heart attack. I will need surgery. Something will need to happen. A life-altering moment will happen if I don't make a change today. Let that sink in for a moment. I have no other choice. You have no other choice to be healthier, happier, and vibrant? Is that what you're asking? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You can start making those changes today. Small, consistent, sustainable changes. Health and mindset are two key pillars in being the healthiest, happiest, most vibrant, successful self. And that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen unless we start prioritizing us as a whole. Let's go on a little imagination ride. If you were hiking, I use hiking because I'm a hiker, but if you're a camper, a fisher, a skater, a biker, whatever you are, let's say you took a little time. You scraped up your arm or your cheek or knee. You got a nice little cut. It happens, right? You automatically want to clean it up, rinse it off, get the dirt out, wash away the debris, maybe put some Neosporin on it, throw some Band-Aids on it. But you watch it closely, right? Make sure it's infected. You watch it because you want to keep doing your life, right? You don't want to change because you got cut. What if you didn't? Watch it. What if you didn't change anything? You didn't clean it, you didn't tend to it, you weren't easy on it. What would happen? You might get an infection, right? Passing, things are growing out of it. It's a disgusting thing, right? That infection will spread if you don't do anything, right? Let's use this as if it were mental health. You've got a scratch on your mental health. What happens if you don't treat that? That infection spreads to the rest of our body. If we had a gut issue, that infection spreads to the rest of the body. You see, you can, whole alignment, mind, body, soul, emotional, spiritual, all of those things. It's like a Jenga piece, right? Like you're playing a game of Jenga. I like this analogy because it's really easy to picture. If you pull one thing out, everything else is off balance, just like the infection analogy, right? You can hide it, right? Ignore it. You can trust it. You can probably do that, right? Put on a cute sweater or wear a cute dress, like it doesn't happen, like it's not there. It's pretty on the outside. What's going on underneath matters because it affects the rest of your body. It affects the rest of your life. It affects all of your relationships. Now, I want you to take a second. I want you to write this down, press record on your phone, take a screenshot of the rocks because this is important. While we can't have it all, we can't do it unless we truly respect and love ourselves. And I want you to take this time to look at yourself in the mirror every day, put your hand on your heart and say, I am important. I matter. My health is important. My mental well-being is important. The biggest takeaway that I like to say is that if we want to be successful in our business, relationships, our families, making our whole health, making our own health, again, all-encompassing, mental, spiritual, physical, is a priority. All too often I hear humans lay out their to-do list. We know how it goes, right? We've got extracurriculars, laundry, homework, housework, lawn needs to be mowed, another bill needs to be paid. All of these things are happening, and the list goes on. Want to know what else? We're not on that list sometimes. Or if we are, we're at the bottom of it, right? At the very bottom. And the conversations are the same. I hear, when X, Y, and Z is done, I'll sit down and eat a healthy meal. I'll catch up on sleep in the week, right? When the project is done, I'll practice some self-care. When what we're forgetting is it has to be now. You have to be first. You have to be a priority, because when you're not, when you're last, you're setting the tone subconsciously for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your career, for everyone else in your life, to put you last. And you let everyone know that your needs don't matter. So let me ask you this. Investing in your health isn't a priority. What's left other than to invest in your own wellness, right? Do you feel like you need to do you need to make radical changes right now? No. But by making small, consistent changes, by doing that, you will feel this radical change in your life. 3 easy steps. Sounds easy, right? The first step is to make a goal that makes sense to you. Set a goal that makes sense to you and your family, not your sister, not your neighbor, not somebody you follow on social media. What's important to you and your family? And it doesn't have to be a radical change in one day. Step 2 is start implementing small, consistent changes. One small change, choices that are easily incorporated into your everyday life. This means that if you're struggling with self-esteem, start saying affirmations in the mirror. If you're struggling to get off sugary drinks, drop one of those drinks a week. And the next week, drop another one. The last thing is to be consistent. Stay focused and persistent, and watch your life radically change one small step at a time. I'm here to empower you to transform your habits, grow your confidence and your experience so that you can feel what life is like when your health, all encompassing mind, body, soul, all in alignment. Change is not easy, but it doesn't have to be hard. If you're struggling in any way, if you're mentally exhausted, physically drained, emotionally spent, or just need a spiritual boost, reach out to yourself alone. You don't need to. Don't wait till you're having an emergency. Don't wait until you're so low that you have no other choice. You are important. Your health is important. Mental well-being is important. If you're ready to level up and start living the life that you're worth living, talk to me about the show. I'm gonna send a smoke signal, drop an emoji. I'm here. My job. Some info in the chat. I'm here. And I'm ready to talk to you about getting your health in alignment. Life is full of choices. Make your well-being one of them. Thank you.